Welcome to Speed Reads, The Art of Persuasion. Build trust, resolve conflicts, and achieve win-win outcomes. Every interaction you have, whether with a stranger, colleague, or friend, carries the potential for influence. Yet, how often in these moments do you make a genuine connection or resolve a challenge effortlessly? True persuasion isn't manipulation or coercion. It's about building trust, understanding emotions, and guiding conversations toward mutually beneficial outcomes. Even in the most difficult circumstances, the right approach can disarm hostility and inspire cooperation. In this speed read, you'll learn how to use ethical persuasion to win people over, build lasting relationships, and resolve conflicts effectively. From techniques like tactful phrasing and emotional intelligence to practical tools for negotiation and empathy, you'll discover how these skills apply to both professional and personal situations. Get ready to transform your interactions into opportunities for connection, trust, and shared success. Winning people over with ethical persuasion. From the moment you step outside your door, you encounter myriad people, some helpful, others indifferent, and a few downright difficult. Whether it's a dismissive customer service agent or a colleague who thrives on negativity, these interactions can shape your day and your results. The question is, how do you turn these encounters into positive outcomes? The answer lies in mastering the art of ethical persuasion, influencing others to act favorably while ensuring they feel respected and valued. True persuasion isn't about winning at another's expense or using manipulative tactics. Instead, it means achieving win-win outcomes where both parties feel good about the exchange. At the heart of this approach is the ability to control your emotions, maintain composure, and build rapport, even with adversaries. By doing so, you can secure what you want while also leaving others feeling better about the interaction. Research shows that humans make decisions based more on emotion than logic. Whether driven by the pursuit of pleasure or the avoidance of pain, emotions govern how people respond to situations. Recognizing this allows you to frame requests in ways that align with others' emotional needs, appealing to their ego and sense of self-worth rather than challenging or diminishing it. The trick to this practice is understanding the roles people assume in communication. Whether they act as a critical parent, a defensive child, or an ideal adult, your goal is to guide interactions toward adult-to-adult exchanges. This ensures respectful, productive dialogue and reduces friction. Tact, or the language of strength, is a cornerstone of persuasion. By choosing your words carefully, you can present challenging feedback in a way that the other person is likely to accept and even appreciate. Responding thoughtfully, rather than reacting impulsively, is another vital skill. A reaction is emotional and often destructive, while a response is measured and constructive. That's the foundation. The next step in ethical persuasion is understanding why trust and likability are so powerful, and how building genuine connections with others can make them eager to support you. If you made it this far in the summary, please be sure to subscribe to our channel, Speed Reads. Your support is greatly appreciated. Building trust and likability for influence. Have you ever noticed how the most successful negotiators and influencers seem to instantly connect with people, gaining their cooperation? This isn't a coincidence. It's the result of a simple but powerful principle. People are more likely to help, support, or do business with those they know, like, and trust. Establishing these feelings is a fundamental step in persuasion, and when done right, it can open doors in seconds. In today's world, where competition often balances out factors like price and quality, personal connections frequently determine who gets the deal, favor, or partnership. Trust and likability aren't just abstract qualities, they're actionable strategies you can cultivate. One effective technique is to ask for advice. By doing so, you appeal to the other person's desire to feel valued and important. A simple request for guidance can transform an interaction, since people are often motivated by the pleasure of being helpful. Build rapport by matching the way the other person speaks, including their words, tone, or phrasing. This naturally creates a sense of alignment and makes them feel understood. A concept from neurolinguistic programming, or NLP, suggests that people process information in different ways. Some focus on sounds, some on visuals, and others on feelings. For example, if someone says, "That sounds great," they may lean toward auditory language, so you might respond with something like, "I hear you." If they say, "I see what you mean," a visual response such as, "Yes, I see that too," can be effective. And for someone who says, "It feels right to me," you could respond with, "That feels like a solid approach." These small adjustments make others more open to what you're saying. Another key tool is the I message, where you express your feelings rather than blame others. For example, saying, "I feel overlooked" instead of "you're ignoring me" minimizes defensiveness while addressing concerns. Similarly, handing decision-making power to others, while offering respect and gratitude, often results in their willingness to help. Once you've established trust and likability, the next step is to strengthen connections by boosting other people's self-esteem through genuine compliments and empathy. Let's explore that in the next section. Elevating relationships through genuine compliments and empathy. If you want to strengthen relationships and encourage cooperation, start by making others feel valued and appreciated. Everyone likes to feel important, and when you acknowledge someone's worth through genuine compliments or empathy, you create an environment of trust and goodwill. These simple actions can transform how people respond to you in both personal and professional settings. When you recognize someone's efforts or affirm their positive qualities, it does more than boost their confidence, it builds lasting connections. For example, in a negotiation, expressing trust in the other person's honesty and fairness can encourage them to act in your favor, even when you're in a weaker position. This approach shows respect and aligns their desire for recognition with your goals. Gratitude is another tool at your disposal. Sending handwritten thank you notes is a remarkably effective way to strengthen relationships. A short, sincere note thanking someone for their time or effort sets you apart and demonstrates that you value them. This simple habit can lead to long-term loyalty and make others more willing to support you in the future. Empathy plays a vital role in maintaining goodwill. When handling conflict or receiving criticism, avoid being defensive. Instead, acknowledge the other person's perspective and respond with respect. This protects their ego and encourages constructive conversations. Even minor actions, like phrasing corrections diplomatically, show thoughtfulness and keep the dialogue positive. For example, instead of bluntly stating someone is wrong, you might say, "Correct me if I'm mistaken," or "Could you clarify this for me?" This shifts the tone, making the conversation collaborative rather than confrontational, which helps preserve mutual respect and encourages agreement. Making others feel important is a practical strategy for building strong relationships and encouraging collaboration. These small but consistent gestures pave the way for trust, loyalty, and mutual support. Up next, we'll look at how tact, preparation, and creativity can help you negotiate even the toughest situations to achieve favorable outcomes for everyone involved. Negotiating favorable outcomes with tact and creative thinking. Negotiation isn't confined to high-stakes boardrooms, it's a part of everyday interactions. Whether you're advocating for better table placement at an event or resolving workplace conflicts, the way you approach the other party can mean the difference between a productive discussion and a deadlock. Effective negotiation often hinges less on logic and more on tact, preparation, and the ability to navigate emotions. Take this example. A venue official insisted that a table placement was non-negotiable due to concerns about crowd congestion. Rather than pushing back, the exhibitor approached the situation calmly and respectfully, asking for advice and recognizing the official's authority. When the official explained the issue, the exhibitor proposed a solution, covering the table until after the program to prevent disruptions. By framing the adjustment as the official's idea, the exhibitor preserved the official's ego and secured the optimal table placement. This demonstrates how politeness, patience, and persistence, key strategies in negotiation, can turn an apparent no into a yes. These traits also allow you to make small concessions when necessary, reinforcing goodwill and trust without compromising your ultimate goal. Your tone and phrasing also play a critical role. Asking for something politely and with genuine respect often results in greater cooperation. Compliments and positive framing, such as acknowledging the other party's expertise, can reduce defensiveness and create an atmosphere of mutual respect. A smile, for instance, not only lifts your own mood but also sets the stage for a more positive interaction. Effective negotiation also involves emotional intelligence, recognizing that decisions are often driven by emotions rather than logic. Addressing concerns while maintaining the other person's dignity ensures they feel part of the solution, making them more likely to agree. In the next section, you'll see how staying calm and empathetic can disarm hostility and transform challenging conversations into constructive outcomes. Turning conflict into cooperation through calm and empathy. There's an old saying that goes, "Don't try to teach a pig to sing. It'll only frustrate you and annoy the pig." While humorous, it holds a useful truth. Not every interaction can be salvaged, and some people are so entrenched in their mindset that persuasion becomes futile. In these rare cases, the best move is to recognize when to let go. In most cases, however, challenging interactions can be turned around by staying calm, responding with empathy, and employing a thoughtful strategy. A great example of this is the pre-apology approach. By acknowledging someone's frustrations up front, for instance, saying, "I'm sorry you have to deal with all this, it must be a real hassle," you can completely disarm their hostility. This small gesture of understanding often shifts the tone of the conversation, opening the door to cooperation. Another effective method is identifying the key decision maker and focusing your efforts on them. People in lower positions may say no, but finding the right person who can say yes ensures you direct your energy where it matters. Approach them with respect, share your goals clearly, and build a connection based on mutual understanding. When resolving conflicts, empathy is your strongest tool. Start by clarifying the other person's concerns with phrases like, "What I hear you saying is," then look for common ground by saying, "I agree with you that," and acknowledge their feelings with, "I understand you feel." Finally, state your perspective calmly and succinctly to guide the conversation toward resolution. These techniques work because they shift the focus from confrontation to collaboration. By showing respect and staying composed, you can turn difficult interactions into productive ones. Next, we'll learn how these principles translate into practical strategies for resolving disputes, building trust, and inspiring teamwork in real-life scenarios. Practical examples of the art of persuasion. While attending a conference, Mr. and Mrs. Michelson had jewelry stolen from their hotel room. When they contacted the manager about it, they were met with indifference and curtly advised to file a report. Instead of reacting emotionally, they calmly conveyed their concern, implying that they wanted to avoid involving the event organizer. This subtle yet firm approach transformed the manager into a willing problem solver, ultimately resolving the issue in their favor. It's a clear example of how practical persuasion techniques can shift dynamics and achieve positive outcomes. Persuasion thrives on respect, honesty, and strategic communication. When addressing challenges like a speeding ticket or an unhelpful customer service representative, the way you frame your case matters. Showing respect, such as keeping your hands visible when pulled over and admitting fault, often disarms defensiveness. Using polite language and soft statements like, "If you can't do it, I'll definitely understand," can turn potential conflicts into cooperative exchanges. If someone is resistant to change, the felt, found approach can be a helpful tool. Acknowledge their feelings, share similar past experiences, and present a solution others have discovered. This lets the other party reevaluate their position without feeling judged. Similarly, using a third-party story to share constructive feedback provides guidance without triggering defensiveness. Consistency is another persuasive cornerstone. Whether you're a leader giving credit to your team or someone confronting poor service, your steadiness builds trust. As Abraham Lincoln demonstrated during his legal career, a thoughtful critique is most effective when paired with fairness. Lincoln would begin his arguments by outlining the strongest points of the opposing side's case, disarming potential resistance and establishing himself as honest and open-minded. By addressing the opposition's perspective first, he gained the trust of his audience, making his own arguments even more compelling. Persuasion is a blend of strategy and empathy. In contrast with coercion, it's about finding shared understanding and creating mutually beneficial solutions. With these principles, you can resolve conflicts, build connections, and inspire collaboration, paving the way for success in both professional and personal settings. The power of persuasion beyond the workplace. Imagine you're at a college party and a friend makes a joke that falls completely flat. The room goes silent, and you can see the embarrassment setting in. It's an awkward moment, but you could step in with a lighthearted story or comment to shift the focus. By doing so, you ease their discomfort while earning their appreciation and the goodwill of the group. Instances like these reveal the potential of thoughtful persuasion, the ability to create harmony and build connections in even the simplest interactions. Effective persuasion thrives in personal interactions when you focus on respect, tact, and generosity. Avoid embarrassing others, as it only alienates them and serves no purpose. Instead, steer awkward moments toward positivity or show empathy in disagreements to turn potential conflicts into cooperation. Respectful communication is equally important. A simple, polite greeting often achieves more than shouting or demanding. For instance, a well-phrased request can turn an unhelpful customer service response into enthusiastic assistance. Giving without immediate expectations also strengthens relationships over time. Whether offering support to colleagues or contributing value to your community, generosity often leads to unexpected returns, like referrals, gratitude, or goodwill.